life jobs, if we have them with skills,
Mm.
I had definitely had some great soft skills in terms of diplomacy and project management and relationship building, and I had some firm, marketing skills in terms of writing and and creativity and briefing and I think really a work ethic, because in agency world you work very, very
Mm.
hard, long
Yes.
hours. So I think I definitely left with skills. Did they make starting a business easy? Absolutely not. I mean, a lot of them were utterly useless. I had no idea how to manage my money, how to self promote as a person, how to build a
Mm.
website, how to do. I didn't have the skills, the basics to run a small business, but I learned
Mm.
them along the way.
And did you have a strategy around that? Was it just literally, oh shit, I need to do this now? Or like, how did you learn those skills?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a strategy. I'm not a planner, which is, very counter to what a lot of business coaches would say. Have a plan, have a business plan, have a strategy, work out who your ideal customer avatar is, all that kind of stuff. I never did any of that. And I still don't to this day. I still
Mm.
don't, I've done a rough outline of what's going to happen in 2024, but I don't know. And I think
Mm.
plans give you the illusion of control and people get very attached to them. And for me, most of the best things in my business were not planned. They were the
Mm.
shiny objects. They were the road less traveled. And if I'd been so stuck with a plan, I think I would have missed them. So that approach, that iterative experimental approach, means it takes a bit longer and you make a few more mistakes. So I've never had a business coach. I've never read really a business book, although I've got a big stack of them. I don't like them. I like reading novels. I was in one membership for about 6 months 9 years ago. I'm not someone that likes to be told what to do, even by myself, which can be problematic. But it's muddled along all right so far.
Well, and that's interesting, isn't it? I'm just more and more leaning into do it your own way.
Mm,
I just feel like if you look around or look hard enough, there is an example of somebody who has been a success in every different way, shape, or form. The person, like the six figures in school hours, or the annoying people that wake up at 5 a.m. every day and journal and do whatever they do, or the people that work late at night. Like, there is always an example of somebody that's been a success. So I think you're right. Like having that tie down to something that is, unless you do X, Y, and Z, you are not going to be a success, is probably a little bit dangerous.
well, I think, yeah, it's so funny because I'm literally writing my next book,
Mm.
in the middle of writing it when we
Mm.
called, and I'm having a bit of imposter syndrome at the moment and wondering, and I sort of had a bit of a Google to see what else is out there, and I wish I hadn't, because
Mm.
obviously my book, my idea has been written before, and then if you go and look at the table of contents, you're like, oh no, they've covered the same points as I've covered before.
Mm.
And it just, that actually stymies your creativity sometimes, looking
Mm.
to others, because actually that has done is made me stop and go, oh, I can't write that because it's been done, whereas of course I can, because I'll be doing it my way with my voice. I'm obviously far funnier than anybody else who's ever written a book,
Absolutely.
obviously. But of course everything has been done before, and of course there's
Mm.
someone out there doing a way better job than you are. But if you
Mm.
thought about that, you'd never do anything, would you? So I find we talk about, staying in your lane and being yourself. It's really hard. It's really
Mm.
hard because you open any kind of app and there's 17 ads popped up to totally feed you stuff that's going to mess with your noggin. And so, we need to go and live in a hut in the middle of nowhere and never talk to anybody and just work on our ideas. It's very
I
hard.
mean, oh my God. It is such an interesting thought though. You're right. Like if you think about every industry, every solution to every problem, if there was only one business doing it, we'd have like what, a handful of businesses that owned all of the customers and all of the money in the world. But no, people resonate with people, and that's kind of the magic sometimes. Yes, you're solving the same problem as somebody else, probably in a very similar way, but you've got your lens.
It's your
And
spark. It's like, your the very name of
thank you for
your
that.
show. It's some people, some people, for some reason, I just don't like the cut of their jib. They just
Mm,
irritate me. I don't know what it
yeah,
is. And the
yeah.
next person's selling the exact same thing, and I love them. But also, people will buy multiple things. I mean, look at your bookshelf. You've got multiple books there, and let's be honest, especially like in the
Half of them are
finance.
the same.
Yeah, half of them are the same. Every
Yeah.
year, a new book pops out: how to pay your mortgage off, or how
Yeah.
to invest in shares. It's been written about 1,000 times, but we
Mm,
sometimes need to read it 6 or 7 times from different angles for it to click.
Yes.
So yeah, it's especially in the world of books, it's like you need to have an original idea, but it can't be too original because you need to have a proven market. And one of the things
Mm,
you're forced to do when you submit a book is tell them what other books are exactly the same as yours out there that have already sold. And you're like, I don't want to do that because I'm like, they'll
wow.
know that my book isn't original, but it needs to be original, but not too original. It's a weird thing.